Shows like Marvel's Agatha All Along, which premiered this week, and Star Wars The Acolyte, which came out a few months ago, are exactly the kind of problem that Disney Plus has. It's not just the fact that the shows seem to be unengaging for a large enough audience to justify their enormous production budgets. No, it's really the fact that it's part of the reason why a lot of folks just don't hang around on Disney Plus. That is to say, there's a lot of folks out there that have Disney Plus subscriptions, but don't really engage the way that Disney needs them to sell more advertising. Netflix, of course, isn't having this problem. In fact, Netflix has the opposite of this problem. They have people that constantly surf on Netflix and stay there and go from show to show. And this is one of the biggest reasons that Netflix is absolutely cleaning Disney's clock. We need to talk about that. Renegade Online. So, I mean, you think about out there all the different things that Catherine Hahn has been in, and my wife thinks she's hilarious. It's like most women seem to really like her.
She's a likable actress. It's just like no one cares about the show.
That's the problem. It's so detached from everything else. And here's the big thing: people in Disney if they haven't admitted this internally, they better figure it out quickly, or Wall Street better figure it out quickly. America doesn't go to Disney Plus to watch stuff.
No, they don't, do they?
It's not there. The people that are consuming Disney Plus, by and large, when you really boil it down, if you really look at it, it's a lot of the Disney Star Wars fans, the Disney Marvel fans. They're there, okay, but there's just not that many. What's really consuming on Disney Plus is the children's programming. That's what the kids are watching. It's Bluey, like we talk about all the time. That's
so would
the thing.
Would it be smarter for Disney? You'll know this. Would it be smarter for Disney to just kind of shut down Disney Plus and put that all over on Hulu?
They're trying to kind of do that now. That's the whole idea of unifying the login for Disney and Hulu. So if you log into Hulu and you've got Disney Plus, and they want people to have both. But the problem is Disney right now still has two different services you have to pay for, Hulu and Disney Plus. I would not be at all surprised if we see them fully merged into a unified service at some point, meaning like you're going to pay $15 to $20 a month like you do Netflix, and you have, who dis?
Because I actually could see, like,
sorry,
maybe
everybody rolled their eyes at that dad joke.
Like, maybe if this show was on Hulu, maybe a few random people just scrolling are like, well, let's see what this is. I don't know, but no one's going to watch the show.
This is the thing. Shows like Agatha and these Star Wars shows, honestly, I mean, even if you look at your peak, right? Mando season 1, Mando season 2, that was peak Disney Plus. And I don't mean that from the standpoint of it was the best thing they've done, which it probably was.
It was.
But it was the highest viewed thing that Disney Plus has still had to date. That isn't a Taylor Swift concert or something tied to a live sporting event that they have piped in from ESPN or something. I don't think they do that on Disney Plus, but they're unifying that more and more and more. But that's the problem is people don't just go sit and let's see what's on Disney Plus tonight. It's not like Netflix, right? You turn on Netflix and virtually every day there's something new in there.
Yes.
People go, at least if they go once or twice a week, they're going into Netflix and let's see what's new, because there's always something new there. The problem is things like Disney Plus are so insular that they're not bringing in outside content. They're not making a lot of general content. A lot of that stuff is being thrown on Hulu, but Hulu's very different. Now, maybe if they had put Agatha on Hulu, we might have a different story here, but I'm still highly questioning if even that would work.
It would get a few more views, I think, on Hulu, but not much. And to your point, now that I think about it, I have not logged into Disney Plus, which my grandmother happens to have it with her Hulu television, which is why I have it. I just use her account. But I've not logged into Disney Plus since I did the final review of The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't have anything that draws you.
There's nothing there.
No.
There's nothing there at all. There's nothing of value on Disney Plus. The only reason that I have it is because, well, at first it got linked up to my Spectrum account, but I've been fiddling with Hulu with live TV because Spectrum has gotten so outrageous. In terms of, and a lot of it's not their fault. A lot of it's companies like Disney. A lot of it's like the local broadcast stations where I've got to pay an extra $25, $26 a month to get my local channels through my cable box, as opposed to me just turning my antenna back on. It's stuff like that. Hulu and YouTube TV are half the cost. Or Hulu with live TV and YouTube TV, I should be more specific. Half the cost of a Spectrum subscription. That's part of the problem. That's why they keep having these carriage fights between places like Disney and Spectrum and DirecTV recently. But apart from that, I wouldn't have Disney Plus. I wouldn't care. It would still be going. I got rid of it a couple of years ago. Book of Boba Fett was terrible. I was done after that. Loki season 1 put me to sleep. I mean, it's like, dude, there is literally, I don't care about Echo. I don't care about Moon Knight. I don't care about Loki season 2. By that point, Star Wars and Marvel had just gone to pot, and I was done with it.
Do you know the last Marvel thing I realized that I watched was the Hawkeye show?
I didn't even watch that one.
I watched it because it was like Christmas themed around Christmas, and that was when they were going to introduce you to. They were going to bring back for the first time. Why does go brain dead on his name? Gosh, they did terrible with this character from Daredevil, Kingpin.
Yeah,
they sucked me in with that. But that was the last time I've even watched a Marvel show. They've just all been so bad.
Mm-hmm. It really is. I mean, it was. There has been nothing there. There's been, once a franchise has been so destroyed, I'm not terribly interested in going back to seeing what's new there. It's kind of done. But look, I think a big part of it is that, like I said before, people will go to Netflix for something. They'll find something on there to watch, and then they'll stay there. They'll find something else to watch and something else to watch. You could even make the argument that Peacock and things like that, I think Max probably has a little bit more routine, sticky engagement because Warner Brothers has a massive library there. But even Warner Brothers, like we talked about before, is smart enough to let some of those things go to Netflix because why not? It's free money, and it's hitting an audience that you probably don't otherwise have on Max to begin with.
That's true.
This is for all these reasons, like we've been talking about, this is why a big problem for Disney Plus with things like The Acolyte and Andor and now Agatha, besides the fact that they're just not interesting content. People are not going to go, ooh, that looks awesome. I want to go check that out. It really doesn't look that way to most normies, and especially not to OG Marvel fans. But then there's just not a crowd that turns on Disney Plus to see what's on.
No, in fact, I'm interested. I don't know, how easy is it to make a poll? I would just be interested in your chat, like how many of them are even interested, like on
this
anything.
Particular show.
Yeah, like I just would be curious of how many people or chat. You can just let us know. Are you going to be watching Agatha? Are you interested in Agatha?
I'm sure it's going to be overwhelmingly no. But I mean, we can do it. How about this?
Or they can just type no, yes, and the chat too.
All right,
we're already seeing a lot of no's. Hell no's, no.
All right, chat. I'm going to give you the poll, but I'm going to set it up a little bit differently. Do you know anyone that's interested in Agatha all along? Yes or no? So not just you. Like, oh yeah, my daughter was interested in watching it. My wife was going to watch it. My aunt was going to watch it. My sister's kids are going to watch it. Do you know anybody that has talked to you organically about wanting to watch the show, or have you heard anybody when you're talking about it that said they were interested in the show? I'm just dead curious. I'm assuming it's probably mostly no's. I mean, granted, this, and I ask it that way because, this is a channel where the demographics are overwhelmingly men between the ages of like 40 and 60. It's people in my age range.
Well, and the reason I want to know, Valiant, which is the same reason I'm sure you're interested, like, is it even worth me watching and doing a review of one episode? I don't even think people care enough to watch a YouTuber's review of this show. Like, I just don't think it's there.
I think, no, I don't. I'd be very surprised. I think there will be initially some curiosity. But I honestly don't think there's going to be enough happening in this show to warrant that something that's going to be continued. Like, I don't see how anybody would make 9 episodes of reviewing this. There might be some bits and pieces in there to talk about, but I think that's about it. I don't think I'm going to put myself through the pain. I'm going to see what happens. I mean, it's like, look, it's if all of a sudden I'm people's videos are abnormally blowing up over Agatha All Along, I'll consider it. Or if there's something really big in there, I'll talk about it, of course. I just don't think I'm going to sit there and watch it. I see people talking about Disparu. Disparu's a reviewer, guys. That's what he does. Like, he doesn't count. That's like saying Shad Brooks or Shadversity. Well, they do that on Night's Watch. Of course they're going to review it because that's what they do. That's their channel. I'm not that channel. Again, like I told folks, I did it for the Acolyte mainly because 2 reasons. One, it was such a hot topic on this channel for a year plus for reasons I don't want to dive back down memory lane on. But needless to say that we were completely correct. Others not so much. We brought the receipts a year ahead of time, and still we had people out there that were screaming at me. But
yeah, I just think with the show, like,
it for that reason, and the fact that Alan said this is going to break Star Wars fans. Like, and when he said maybe worse, I don't remember exactly how he put it, possibly worse than the Last Jedi. And I mean, me and Damien were on that show. I don't know if you were with us that night, but we both kind of reeled back. We were like, dude, what? You know what I mean? Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.